Okay guys, prisms looked good. We're moving on to our next shape. We're going to be working with cylinders. Now this we're only going to do for one day. So there's not really a whole lot to it. Just like all the other shapes we're going to be doing, we're going to try to create right triangles so that we can use Pythagorean theorem and trig. Okay, here's what we're looking at. First of all, this is what a cylinder looks like. It looks like a can. So if you had a can of soda in your hand, that's known as a cylinder. It also has two bases, just like when we did prisms. The base are the top and the bottom, which are circles. So this is a base, and the same with the top. Top is a base, and they're both circles. If you look at your three formulas for lateral area, surface area, and volume, you can see there's only two variables. You're going to need the radius and the height. Please remember what radius is. Radius goes from the center of the circle to the side, not all the way across. Like if you look at this first example we're going to do, 10 is not the radius. 10 is the diameter. The radius would be half of that. So 10 goes from here to here, so the radius would be just from here to here, which will end up being 5. So you're going to need radius, you're going to need height. Height is either side, either this one or this one, either which way is height. So we have our formulas. We're just going to jump right into example number 1, and hopefully this will, like I said, this will be pretty easy. All right, so we'll start off with lateral area. So what lateral area is, guys, is it's the area of everything except for the two top and bottom circles. So like if you were holding a can of soda, it would be everything that goes around the can like this, that you're holding it that way, but not the top or the bottom. That would be your lateral area. So here's our lateral area formula. Lateral area equals 2 times pi times the radius times the height. So for this problem here, you're looking at 2 times pi. You need the radius, you need the height. Now, I don't have the radius in this problem, but I do have the diameter. So if the diameter is 10, then the radius will be 5. I'm going to create right triangles, guys. Sometimes I'm going to use the diameter to create it. And if you look down here, sometimes I'll use the radius to create it. So make sure, like I said earlier, you pay attention to which one I gave you or which one you find. So I know my diameter here is 10, so that I can figure out if the diameter is 10, the radius would just be 5. So I can put a 5 in here, and the only thing I'm missing is the height. So there's my right triangle. It's made of the diameter, the height, and then this diagonal. So I'm going to put a right angle right here, and I'm going to have to find that height, and I'm just going to do the Pythagorean theorem. I don't have an angle, so I can't do trig, so this one will be the Pythagorean theorem. So that's a leg, that's a leg, that's the hypotenuse. We'll do that off to the side. So I can say h squared plus 10 squared equals 26 squared. And now you're just going to use your calculator to find that height. So I'm going to need 26 squared, and then I'm going to subtract this 10 squared over. And that's going to give me 576. So that's what h squared equals. I'm going to take the square root of that. That's going to give me 24. So there's my height. Put that in here, and you're good to go. Lateral area is done. So lateral area, we're just going to plug all that in your calculator. So I need 2 times pi times 5 times 24, and we're going to round it to 1 decimal place. Because once you put pi in a multiplication problem, the decimal will go forever. So it's 2 times pi times 5 times 24. You get that 753.98. The 8's going to make the 9 round up, so that's going to be 754 even. So 754.0. That's your lateral area. Okay, total area. So total area is your lateral area plus your two bases. Now the bases are circles, so that's why we use this formula up here. 2 times pi r squared, because pi r squared, that's the formula for area of a circle. So you have two of them. You have the top and the bottom, so that's why there's 2 pi r squared. So 2 pi r squared. So my total area is going to be this 754 plus whatever, 2 times pi times the radius is 5 squared. So you're going to need to put that in your calculator to figure out what you're adding to your 754. So I need 2 times pi times 5 squared. I do want to see this number, guys, just in case you get the lateral area wrong. I can still give you credit for getting the second part right. So I'm going to have this 754. To that, I'm going to add 157.1. That's what I got on the calculator right here, and that's going to give me my final total area. So I need 754 plus 157.1, and there's your final answer, 911.1. That's your total area, and the last one's going to be your volume. So volume is pi r squared h. So you got pi times the radius, which is 5, squared, times your height, which we found to be 24. And you're going to put all that in your calculator at one time. Don't break it into parts. Just put pi times 5 squared times 24. You don't even need to figure out 5 squared is 25. You can just put it in as it is. So I got, move this over a little bit, pi times 5 squared times 24. There's your final answer, 1884.95. That 5 is going to round the 9 up, so it's going to be 1885.0. And there we go, and we're done. So if you look at it, it's really not that bad. Once you find the radius and the height, what you needed for lateral area, that's all you need in the entire problem. So you don't have to go back later and find more stuff. Just make sure you have radius and height right off the bat, and you should be fine. All right, let's drop down to the second problem. All right, second problem. Now I created the right triangle with the radius. So this is your R, and this is your height. Neither of which do you have. Now you do have an angle, so you're going to be doing trig, and then you have this hypotenuse right here of 19, so you'll be able to do the two trig equations to find R and to find H, and then you're going to have everything you need. And this is no different than all the other times that we've done trig. You guys should be, champs at this by now. So if I want to find my radius, that's opposite, that's hypotenuse, so I'm looking at sine. So I'm going to say the sine of 33 equals opposite, which is R over 19. Multiply both sides by 19, and that'll be your radius. So 19 times the sine of 33, 10.3. So there we go. I got one thing I needed. And then now to find height, I'm going to do cosine. So cosine of 33 equals, what do we got here? H over 19. Again, multiply both sides by 19. So I got 19 times the cosine of 33, 15.9. All right, now you're ready to roll. You found the two things you're going to need. Those are the only two things you need.